Right now we are in part 1 of this course, and let's have an overview of this part and what tasks we are going to cover here in this part. Now, as I mentioned before, coding and testing is going to be a big part of your job as email developer, so part 1 of this course is all about coding with hands. Now, coding with hands is your primary skill that you're going to apply in your job on daily basis. And even though we are going to work in frameworks extensively, because frameworks are going to triple the speed of your developing, before we move on to the frameworks, we need to accomplish coding with hands, because sooner or later in your email developing job you are going to edit the code, your own code from 1 year ago, someone else's code, and so on, some kind of templates code and so on. So you need to know how to code with hands. Now let's have an overview of what exactly we're going to code with hands in this part 1. So first of all, we're going to create a simple email, which is honestly my favorite type of emails. It's going to be very simple. It's going to have one picture, some text, a call to action, and just a couple of other elements. It's going to be based on divs. It's very easy to code and very easy to edit this code and work with this in the future. Then we're going to code an email based on tables. Then we're going to complicate it a little bit more and code an email based on tables with bigger number of columns and bigger number of rows. We're going to look at the hybrid versus responsive method of coding. We're going to touch such thing as media queries to make your emails look different and work in a different way on different devices depending on the size of the screen. And another important thing here is the alternative text, because in some cases working with alternative text might be your last chance to provide information to the recipient in case when pictures are disabled. So once again, in part 1 we're going to focus on coding with hands because it's going to be your primary skill for this course and for this job.